guys, I just thought I'd pop into your meeting in person. I wanted to respond to your last letter. I'm taking it very seriously. Thank you for the letter. I'd just like to reiterate the apologies that I've made on a number of occasions, especially the apology that I made to Kevin and Louise in regard to the complaint they made against me. I hope that was received well. I think Andy White said it was received, but I didn't get any personal comment from Kevin or Louise, which I'd hoped for in regard to receiving my apology, and I hope it was taken well. I'd also like to reiterate what I've said many times, both in writing and verbally. I congratulate the committee on running a very effective running club, and I enjoy running with Stubby Green runners. Great sessions, especially Louise's Hills. Anyway, the point is, I reiterate that apology, and I just wanted to respond to some points that you've made in the letter. So starting off with your letter then to me, your most recent letter dated the 1st of May, email. Are you aware that you are aware that the committee met on the 18th of April? Didn't know the exact date for April, but anyway, that's by the by. One of the items on your agenda was your behaviour and communication with various members of the committee and club. Fair enough, I didn't realise you already had an item on your agenda, but obviously you thought it was necessary. The outcome of our discussions below, and you're asked to take careful note, which I most certainly am taking careful note, and any further failure to remain within the terms set out will result in your immediate removal from the club. I'd just like to say there that you've extended my probationary period, and what I would say in response to that is that you seem to have added to it. I'm not certain whether, can you just do that in writing to me without putting me through any kind of further formal process? I'm not sure, but fair enough. So you've decided to extend and reiterate the probation and the restrictions that you put on me. Regarding your article, this is the one that I've been trying to get into the Green Runner a couple of times. Similar situation, I suppose, to where I posted a link into Facebook that linked into my green running page, etc. My interpretation of the ruling is, and I'm sure what you told me in black and white here, is that you don't accept any promotion, commercial advertising, etc. And that is exactly my point. This is not a commercial advert. I'm not selling a product. I'm promoting a philosophy that many runners are adopting, many level-headed and good runners are adopting in regard to green initiatives. And there's a groundswell of runners joining it. My motivation, as you know, is purely to let the stubbies know about it and give them the option to join if they were interested. It's not a commercial advert, it's not selling a product for commercial gain. Now that's how I interpret the rule that you have, that there is to be no commercial advertising, which I completely agree with. I'm in favour of that ruling. But it seems that the interpretation is that this extends to the Green Runners. Now, the way I interpret the Green Runners, I would compare that to being a cause, in other words, like a charity. And I believe your ruling or your way of going about charitable things is that they go through your committee and they get approved, etc. And then they go ahead. Now, obviously, the way I'm looking at it is that my charitable cause, in inverted commas, the Green Runners, is not being approved by the committee. And I don't think it's the case. My interpretation is not breaking the rule, which you have confirmed with the members at the most recent AGM, which is interesting because I did think, well, why did you ask the members to reiterate their view on that? But then that's by the way, I suppose. But the point is, My interpretation is that's for commercial advertising, and I fully support that rule, but I don't think my request to have pointed out to the stubbies in the newsletter falls into the same category. It seems that you disagree with that. So I'm not permitted to promote the Green Runners in any way, including the newsletter. I do point out that the process changed in regard to, as Richard Mackay pointed out to me, that now, he said in writing to me, that all articles submitted for the newsletter must now go through the committee, which he told me was not the case. So hence the fact that I put it in 1 month and then I put it in another month, because I didn't know what had happened to it, and I didn't know the process until then, that Richard pointed out that they all got to be gone through for committee approval. Fair enough, but it's not a commercial advert. It's purely a charitable type thing, accepted by many running clubs, but then of course that's up to you, isn't it? But it's a charitable type thing that is up for your approval or not, and it appears that you're not supporting the philosophy of the Green Runners. So, okay then, I think we know where we are with that. As I say, a similar situation to me trying to get a link to my page on the Facebook, the SGR Facebook, resulting in my ban for 25 years or something. No, I'm joking. Okay, now where are we then? So, promotion of outside businesses or organisations will be accepted. Now, the other thing I'd just like to say there is that there's links that are published, other than mine, in regard to charitable type things, and indeed I've seen other links as well on the Facebook group. So I'd just like to say, where's the consistency in regard to your response to my request and other people's responses that appear to be maybe treated differently, but who's to say? So, such promotion is not permitted and not welcome by our members. I do not welcome commercial advertising. I do not want commercial advertising to be included. And I note that has been reiterated by the most recent AGM. My video message sent to the club secretary was played at the meeting. Many committee members were already aware of this video message, as it had been disseminated on a public Facebook page. Yes, it was. And yes, I did put it on there, and I mentioned one name, not in full, just a Christian name. It was a response, maybe a knee-jerk response, that again, apologies if it was taken in the wrong light, but it was purely a knee-jerk response, my amazed response to the situation that has arisen, whereby no mention of the Green Runners can be made. Just like to point out there that I've been involved with the Green Runners. I'm now a official volunteer for them, and many running clubs are receiving them well. They're not receiving them in the light of commercialism or anything like that. They're receiving them in the light of something that runners can get involved in, that runners love getting involved in, and at the same time doing some good for spreading initiatives and the word in regard to global warming. So, yeah, okay. You are permitted to send one email to the club secretary per calendar month. Any outcome from that email will be communicated to you. No further or follow-up emails are permitted until the next month. We reserve the right to not respond to your email if it is decided that no response is worthwhile. Seems an interpretation has been put on here by the probationary letter that I received. It did mention the fact that there would be the ability for one email, but I wasn't aware that it was part of my probation. And indeed, as far as I'm concerned, there's no clause in there that says I can only send one email. In fact, it came from a suggestion from myself initially in regard to my light's gone out, my light's gone out. In regard to, what am I talking about? I don't know. Yeah, it came in response to, I've lost my place, I am so sorry. My machine's gone off. Help. Oh, I don't. Yeah, it was an knee-jerk reaction, wasn't it, to your ignoring and then turning down my little note that I wanted to get into the newsletter. All right. And as I say, the one email thing wasn't something that was written as part of my probation or charges. It was something that was mentioned in the notes, I believe. Although I don't like rereading this document. But the way I understood it was that you had given room for allowance for one email a month. But it seems that you've tightened up on that, extremely tight on that. Now I'm threatened with dismissal from the club, I believe, I don't know. You're not permitted to contact committee members directly. I contacted Andy Simpson and Sarah McCritchie because out of frustration. I think they're nice people. I approached them, my meaning was to approach them in a totally unofficial way, and it was to find out what their views on global warming are, as I am indeed doing with many people outside the club, as I am a self-appointed lobbyist, unfortunately for my sins. I do get bad reactions. I'm sorry that this has been taken in this way. I'm not certain that you can tell me that I can't, well, you can tell me anything, can't you, because that's what you want, but you've now told me that I can't communicate with any members of the committee. Indeed, you've made it extremely difficult over a period of time for me to do that. But hey-ho. You are aware that I have attempted to contact committee members via their personal communication channels. This is not permitted, and this extends to communicating with others undertaking non-committee roles. Well, what I'd say there is that I'm friends with these people on Facebook friends. Now, if they don't want to respond to my approaches or reaching out, then they're quite within their personal right to block me. So what I'd say is, if there's any committee members there that don't wish me to approach them, then please tell me and block me. Can the committee tell me that I can't approach people in a private way? I'm not sure, but then that's what you're telling me, that I can't approach them. What I'm saying is, or suggesting is that those people don't wish to speak to me about anything, including global warming, then please block me, because then that's a personal response, which I would far prefer. Thanks for that. This is not permitted and has prohibition, I thought that was about alcohol, and this prohibition extends to communicating with others. I don't know. I think I've got the right to communicate with others, but the government tells me I have anyway. Okay, so you don't want me to. If you don't want me to, that's a different matter, but I'm not sure that you can tell me I can't communicate with private individuals. Surely you can't. Really? Oh well, never mind. This is a disadvantage of doing this on video, because is I don't get your response, which I'd love to be at your meeting to have a discussion about these things, rather than a one-sided input, which this is and all our emails are. We are similarly aware. This is next one. You are not permitted to comment on the Facebook group. You have broken this prohibition, and this breach has been noted. Sorry about that. I think it may have been a like, but I'm not quite certain. I think it might have been responding to a photograph that was taken of me by Lisa at one of her groups, and I think I made a little self-effacing comment in regard to my running style or something. Is that what it was? Okay, but I'm not permitted. For clarity, it is beholden on all members of Stubbington Green Runners to behave in a way which reflects well on the club at all times. This includes at non-club events and interactions in a public forum. Failure to uphold the good reputation of their club will not be tolerated. Fair enough. I'll go along with that. In light of the breaches in the terms of your probation, but to give you the opportunity to reflect on your behaviour and amend it, it has been decided that your probation period will be extended to the end of 2023. This will be reviewed at a committee meeting before the end of that period, and you will be informed of the outcome of the review. All I'd say there is that, are we following procedures there? Are you able to just endlessly add, amend my probation and my censure? Can you just do that without recourse to the process? I'm currently checking with England Athletics in regard to what the procedure should be. I'm sure you've got it right. But, fair enough. Alright, so it's extended until the end of the year. I did ask you to withdraw this letter, but you chose not to. This will be reviewed at a committee meeting before the end of that period, and you will be informed of the outcome. Fair enough, thank you for that. In the meantime, you are reminded that you are not permitted to communicate with any member of the committee directly or indirectly, other than by the method described above, to harass members in non-committee roles. Other than by the method described. Okay. Mustn't harass anyone, fair enough. You are permitted to attend club sessions but will not communicate with committee members at those sessions unless it is directly related to the session. Right. I think I understand that, fair enough. If that's what you want. I did try and communicate with Louise the other day about a Zoom call that I'd attended that had Damien Hall, the founding runner of the Green Runners, and Jasmine Paris was with it, and I spoke to Louise about it, but I didn't mention anything about the subject of the Zoom call, which was about the Green Runners and what they can do. I actually said that they'd spoken about the amazing marathon Barclay run that they'd run in, so it wasn't an attempt by myself to preach to Louise about global warming or anything. I can only imagine that was the instance that's been referred to. We trust that the above is clear and gives you a framework within which to remain a member of Stubbington Green Runners. I intend to remain as a member of Stubbington Green Runners, and I would hope that there is a desire from the committee that I do also. But the situation's obviously ridiculous, isn't it? All along I haven't been able to talk to you, other than Andy, which was only in a formal nature, and only due to my personal request to him, and that didn't work out that well. I'll have to come to one of your meetings and talk about all these things. Hope it's all going well with your running, and I repeat my congratulations on running a very efficient, well sought after running club, and also for the green initiatives you have taken in regard to the awards for the Stubbington 10K. Eco-friendly, brilliant, for allowing me to organise a green awareness run, which I would hope to repeat at some stage with your permission. Anyway, guys, it's been really nice talking to you. I would love to have seen you in person. And lastly, it's a plea, really, I think, to wipe the slate clean. to view me with too much suspicion. Thanks, guys. Good luck. Cheers. Bye.